One of my favorite fights in OG One Piece is Zoro versus Count Dracula Mihawk, a fight subtly placed very early on in the show. We see Mihawk absolutely destroy these peons' ship, pulling up in a one-man dinghy. Zoro, being the samurai katana nerd he is, immediately recognizes this guy as the world's strongest swordsman and challenges him frame one. Unfortunately, bro gets no-diffed in a couple swings, and to be honest with you, it really isn't that much of a fair fight. When I first saw this go down decades ago, I honestly just brushed past it. It didn't seem that significant compared to Luffy's feats, but as time went on, I understand it now. Pirates are pirates, and some swordsmen are pirates. You could ask Zoro and he'd say otherwise. But what I'm trying to get at here is that in the world of Super Smash Bros. Melee, SSBM, people who identify as spacies, they main spacies, and live for spacies are the swordsmen of this world. Allow me to explain. If you have been around these parts for a while, you know exactly who Fox is, and his lesser known but cooler counterpart, Falco. They're called spacies because in the original game Firefox, they all travel a vast area called, say it with me now, space. There's this meme that's been floating around where Spacies players complain about running into any character that isn't Fox or Falco and will even leave, perhaps rage quit out of matches because to them, fighting any non-Spacey character is boring, campy, and a waste of fucking time, they would say. If you play League, imagine you're playing Yasuo mid and you're facing someone like Malzahar or Lissandra. If you don't want to your shit after hearing that, then you have the patience of a demigod and I congratulate you. Anyways, back on topic. While it's true Spacey mains hate fighting floaties, me included, some of the greatest melee sets of all time come from battles against a Fox or Falco fighting itself or his clone. This is similar to how in One Piece, the most epic battles and feats of strength are from swordsmen 1v1ing each other. Okay, look at this cool detail Oda put in during the Zoro versus Mihawk fight. Luffy holds Zoro's cronies back from saving their big brother, but why? It's because both he and Zoro understand that this is not just a battle of who's stronger, but two egos gauging how big of a skill gap there is between them. It's more of a silent conversation than a fight for a winner and a loser. Even Mihawk acknowledges Luffy's decision in the same chapter later on. Zoro is supposed to represent you, the aspiring Spacies main aiming to become the best Falco or Fox player in the world one day. The reason why he's such a popular character in One Piece is because he's written in a way that any manly man can self-insert themselves into Zoro. It's actually quite genius. In this fight, Zoro reminds me of a Spacies player who likely played a lot of Melee, feels confident with his abilities with his friends, nowadays that's Slippy, and still has that innocence within to believe that he has what it takes to become the greatest player of all time. And now starting pools in his first ever tournament, he got seeded to play against Mang0 for his first ever IRL tourney match. Like, anyone who has to play against Sinai Mang0 as a novice felt the blunt force of a reality check set in as your stocks depleted one by one. You'd be crying like this guy too if you knew. Alright Melee heads, I hope you're following so far. You might be asking yourself by now, so why is Mang0 Mihawk? Simple. Mang0 is objectively the best Spacies player in the world, and it's not even close. You can just ask him. Really not only that, but Mihawk has two weapons of choice he uses to defeat his opponents. Yoru, the big black-ass sword latched on his back along with his mini kitchen knife necklace, both used during the Zoro fight. Meanwhile, Mang0 also has two characters he relies on in Melee, Falco and Fox. Now what if I told you that each of his Spacies represents the weapons Mihawk carries around? Can you guess which one is which? That's right, Fox being the big blade and the necklace knife is Falco. Now before you click off this nonsense, you're gonna have to let me explain myself here. For those of you who don't play Melee like a giga nerd, you might know that Fox is not only the best character in the game, but arguably one of the hardest characters to master and play perfectly. You hear people fucking up their hands and getting carpal tunnel syndrome all the time from excessive Fox gameplay. Some having to even give up using their GameCube controller due to finger injuries. But have you ever heard of a Falco player breaking they shit? course not. Unless you're in the Melee subspace, you only know about Fox. However, ask anyone who's been playing for a couple of years and they'll tell you that it's actually Falco who's the spirit of Melee and not Fox. Falco is fun, easy to pick up comparatively to his crackhead older brother, but he can still f people up with style. Sometimes even more so than Fox. Why do you think there's such a massive Falco sample size on Slippy and why noobs are always complaining about other noob Falcos? It's because anyone with a semi-functioning brain can use a kitchen knife. If you've cooked before, LARPed as a kid, or had unhinged thoughts in your life, you probably know how to handle a knife well. It's not an uncommon thing amongst humans. Compare that to real swords, knives are light and nimble. You can move around freely without much resistance, but a knife still has potential to be deadly. If a puny shank is enough, why go through the trouble of swinging that lug around, you know? Mihawk uses his big black-ass blade against competent opponents, usually those who are not swordsmen. You can see Mang0 picking Fox against floaties, just Puff and Peach all the time. You see, Falco's issue is that for as strong as he is also very exploitable by many characters on the cast. Falco is a glass cannon, dying as fast as he kills sometimes. This is why there's a disparity of top Falco pros versus the sheer amount of Falco mains on this planet. It's hard out there for Falco mains, man. Pause. So when Mang0 brings out the Falco, when Mihawk takes out that dinky kitchen knife, it's not just disrespect. It's a statement.
Oh, these conversions. Oh! That's brutal!
That's it!
Oh, that doesn't again!
Nice up air. That was godlike. That was crazy.
The last time a top Falco main outside of Mang0 won a super major was literally PC Chris. I'm not gonna count PPMD in here, and although his Falco is a thing of beauty, he plays Marth. Magi has never won, Bobby has never won, Westballs, Ginger, Flash, Fiction, none of your favorite Falco players have ever won a super major, arguably never even getting close to winning a super major. The higher you get on the Melee rankings, the harder it becomes to win as Falco. He's just that exploitable the more your opponent knows what they're doing. So what's up with Mang0? Why is he just that tough of a Melee player? You'd have to understand hockey to know that answer. Hockey is willpower and determination manifested into energy, simply put. It's like chakra from Naruto or power levels, cursed energy, Nen, whatever your favorite is. All you gotta know is that hockey is a power separate from pure strength and is limited. From a nerd's point of view, neutral game just means trying not to get hit first, because Melee is a Kusoge, and in Kusoges, when you get hit, you're usually going to die for it. So how do you not get hit? Wait for the other person to strike first and punish their whiffed attacks. What happens when both players understand neutral and try to do that? A back and forth of just two dweebs dash dancing around like a bunch of losers. Neutral game is hockey because the one with more patience will win the game in theory. Even if one player might have crispy ass movement displays alongside crazy good shield pressure, the player with better neutral game will end up winning most of the time. This explains all the silver rank spacey mains who play like Westball Smurf but end up losing over and over again to patient defensive players who know exactly what to do to counter your aggression. It's not shield grab that's OP, chat. It's the neutral game that comes with it. Remember to train your hockey, fellas. Some people understand melee hockey, most are aware that it exists and learn to master it, and then there's the crazy ones who gain an unconscious form of neutral game from sheer practice, and playing the game so many times they use melee hockey without even realizing. It's like when Zaro unleashes Haoshoku Conqueror's coding on his katanas while boxing Kaido, and bro doesn't even know what that means. Spacey Main's watching this right now. Do you ever get that feeling some days where you're just playing absolutely perfect but you have no idea why? Yeah, that's you exerting your melee hockey. Congratulations, my guy, you're actually quite good at the game. Must have been all that weed and alcohol helping you lock the fuck in against some real baddie opponents. Now here comes Shanks, an unassumedly normal everyday looking pirate, but in One Piece reality, this dude is an absolute menace, foreshadowed all the way back since chapter 1. Red Hair Shanks is a character that is very popular amongst shonen heads who love the power scaling aspect in One Piece. He is known for his ungodly levels of hockey that essentially overshadow everyone else's in the entire cast, and is a force to be reckoned with. On screen, it seems like all sides, good or evil, kneel in his presence, and he could probably note if any top tier pirate if he really wanted to. I say this because we've seen bro fight one single fucking time, all the way in episode 1112. It took over 1,000 1,000 episodes to see this fucking man show his powers. And trust me, people were sucking on his fictional cock way before this fight dropped. Mihawk, the greatest swordsman of all time, regards Shanks as his equal, yet almost feels like he refuses to fight him. Sure, maybe it's the lost arm or whatever, but clearly we can tell out of every single swordsman out there, it is Shanks that Mihawk respects. He's kind of an anomaly in the manga because you can literally count the number of major appearances he's had in the show that starkly contrasts the amount of adoration and respect garnered by the diehard fans. I mean, it's only natural. Insert any character that's never lost a single battle and you'll for sure find folks that glaze said character to the high heavens. The icing is too thick when you're choking on this conqueror-coated dick online, and it hurts, man. Where's the love for my boy Bumsaw, or Wizaru? Which leaves us with one final question. Who is Shanks? In terms of the melee scene, of course. If you've been following along this whole time, I salute you for having a decent enough attention span, but I'm also assuming you guys have some guesses. Is it H-Box? No. H-Box is Monkey D. Luffy himself. Just look at his hype clutch moments and turn if you don't believe me. If there's any main character in the community of Smash Bros. Melee, it's Hungrybox. He's a bit of a goofball with good intentions, and the audience loves him, but actual pirates, aka Melee players, hate his guts because they don't think this cornball head ass should win even when he does. Think about it. Has any opponent Luffy faced over the years thought to themselves this fight was going to end in their loss, let alone respect the guy? The answer is no, but there have been a few exceptions. I'll talk about it another time. After Tipped Off 16, it seems Juan is having his Marineford moment right now. So if it's not H-Box, then is it Zane? That's a great guess too, since he does play Red Marthanol and feels unstoppable at times, but no. Marth is not a Spacies, and Shanks is a swordsman, ironically speaking. Zane to me feels more like a Kaido. So strong he tends to nerf himself by doing crazy shit like playing Roy or getting Grandmaster on literally every single character. And storyline wise, it takes an entire roster of pirates, or pros in Smash, to truly take him down. He is the final boss of Melee when it comes down to it. But I'll have to admit, I don't think Zane is a mythical blue dragon and wants to see the world burn into chaos. He's just looking for someone who can match his freak in his favorite pastime, beating the shit out of people. After watching the recent sets, it finally looks like Kaido is showing some emotion against his opponents. Or he's hiding some demons about something else. Listen, we're all going through it right now in the Melee scene. The pros and everybody else, me included. So not Zane, not H-Box, then who, jackass? Fucking Armada? You're getting closer. Armada is more like Goldie Roger, and I'm sure you've heard of his legendary name. Came from an island nobody heard of in a region apparently known to be weak, but ends up becoming one of the most notorious pirates ever, leaving a legacy and impact on the scene and then dipping, never to really be seen again, but always brought up in discussion both in and out of the One Piece world. I'd say the only difference between these two is that Roger was killed and Armada quit. But by quitting the game and the scene, you essentially are killing yourself and your name. Nothing left but the memories of the past and the will of Melee mastery, trailblazed by the master of hockey, spacies, and floaties. And if you're somehow watching this right now, Armada, please come back, bro. Like, we're waiting for you, bro. Thanks. Alright, so spit it out. Who's Shanks in the Melee universe? At this point, you're just being a dick tease. They gotta be real good at the game with extreme levels of hockey. I mean neutral. They gotta main Spacey since Shanks is a swordsman, and they still gotta be actively competing right now as we speak. The closest person to describe all three of these points has to be... I can't believe I'm saying this. IBDW. Also, I don't care if you and everyone else calls you Cody, you will always be IBDW to me. And the last time I checked, this is my YouTube channel. First off, Cody Schwab mains Fox. By that logic, IBDW is a swordsman in the melee space because he wields a spacey as his choice of character. Check. Next, the neutral game. You're just gonna have to trust me on this one, but there's a reason why IBDW is in contention for rank 1 on the melee leaderboards for a couple years now. Shanks ain't too old, and it feels like he suddenly became infamous with bounty posters all out of nowhere, with each iteration's cash reward becoming higher and higher. This is just like IBDW's sudden surge of first place wins since the start of 2020. Now, I can already hear what some of you are saying right now.
Mang0's the GOAT, bro. Even people like Maggie and Bobby are sicker than Cody. Besides, have you even seen the head-to-head between these two before, or are you just blind to your own agenda?
While I totally get you because I was also part of that phase in the Melee fandom, you have to understand this, bro. In the modern world of Melee, it's all about neutral game and hockey clashes. Forget how fast you can multi-shine and move around on platforms. Forget about ledge dashes and sick combo game. If you're always getting hit first, when the hell are you ever gonna use those mad moves you spent years upon years downing White Claw after White Claw while sucking on a vent cart, developing your tech skill and punish game? You won't, man. And the results of 2025 shows it. You don't even need to look that far. Just queue up to Slippy Ranked and see for yourself. And I know you're upset because this is probably not the answer you were looking for, and I feel you, man. Shanks is cool as f***, and he's a real nice guy, while Cody is... well, he's a nerd. Can we at least agree on that, chat? Reality isn't the same as fiction, which means not every aspect of characters will be 100% accurate to their real-life counterparts. But I'll leave you with this, One Piece fans. We've never seen Kaido and Shanks square off in the show. Only heard of it. Along the way to Marineford, Kaido was abruptly stopped by Red Hair and his crew, which is why he never showed up to the war. I can only assume all the games Zane and Cody have played over the past couple of years would accurately explain how the fight went.
Barely going on right now. Oh my god!
Greatest player to ever touch a controller.
Dude, Cody 16. Yeah. Oh, is the invisible shot?
We're duking it.
Wow! He beat the spinning move. Hey, scientists say it's impossible. What a crazy Yoshi's huge dash back. Oh! Up two stocks. The Koopa. Oh! A down tilt of guns against Mom. Oh, he made it. Okay. Whoa! That's so drop too hard. It's too hard. What a down tilt. Unlucky start.
Also, I would really suggest closing the video now and clicking somewhere else if you don't want manga spoilers. Something feels off about Shanks. For the longest time, the One Piece fandom has speculated deeper on Shanks' morality in the story. There are moments that get readers scratching their heads thinking, wait a minute, are we sure this dude is a good guy? He's been acting real suspicion lately, gang. That is until it's revealed that in the latest arc of Elbaf that he has an evil fucking twin brother, like, huh? Anyways, as of the recording of this video, we don't know how strong this dude is, but it appears that Shanks and Stabs are of similar power level from the looks of it. Now the real question to be asking is IBDW the good twin or the evil twin?
Cardo, my evil twin. Cardi, my evil twin.
Thank you for watching this dumbass video until the end. I have some more Melee content ideas for the future, so I hope to get those out eventually, and I hope I didn't sound so dogmatic throughout this discussion. It's a hypothetical analysis for entertainment after all, and if you've heard my voice somewhere else before, no you haven't. I peep the Twitch if you want, I rage play Falco sometimes. Peace!